to it. I'm sure you're all, maybe some of you are unaware of what's going on. So let me back up a couple of days. Let me back up a few days here. Now I don't know if you're aware of this, but there was a great battle for freedom that took place in Europe 2 days ago. It was led by a very brave Applebee's waiter, but apparently the EU just wasn't interested, wasn't interested in his recommendation of appetizers. So that didn't really go over that well. Go to make a grand speech about saving the internet. 2 days later, the internet's destroyed. I don't know how that happened. He was literally doing pan-European politics, and he was wearing a suit. So you would think that would be the solution, but apparently not. I guess they'll take a recommendation on the frittatas, but not on freedom. But thank you, based Applebee's Waitron, for trying to save the day on that one. I've got a few news articles. We can read those. Maybe that'll give you the better idea of of how fucked Europe is, and we can get into talking about why it's trash and why Europeans need to shut up. They need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. The EU approves controversial copyright directive, including internet link tax and upload filter. Those in favor say they're fighting for content creators, but critics say the new laws would be catastrophic. Well, if anybody's saying that it's going to be a fucking catastrophe, Europeans are going to want to do it. The European Parliament has voted in favor of the copyright directive. You always know a law is on a good track when it's called the directive. A copyright directive, a controversial piece of legislation intended to update online copyright laws in the internet age. The directive was originally rejected by MEPs in July following criticism by two key provisions. Article 11 and 13 dubbed the link tax and the upload filter. Now, I will spare you a little bit of this. So essentially what this is, the link tax would be if you use a news source or a source of information, you basically have to pay a toll. You would have to pay a licensing fee for doing that. The link tax, you're linking to their information. The upload filter is even better. The upload filter takes the onus off of the individual putting up content and puts it onto the host service provider. So everything becomes like YouTube, with copyright content filters all over the place. If somebody copyrights a meme, if somebody copyrights anything, it doesn't even matter, trademarks it, whatever, and you put it up anywhere on the internet, if you're a European, you're fucked. It's going to get copyright struck. It's your shitty little blog spot, copyright struck. It's your dumb little DeviantArt profile, copyright struck. It's not just going to be YouTube anymore. It's going to be everything. And these dumb fucks voted for it. A final vote in favor of it, 438 to 226. Nicely done, Europeans. Oh, God, every time I don't think you dumb sons of bitches can cuck yourself a little bit more, you just jump right into it, full fucking throttle right into it. It's almost like a dare. It's like a dare to them if you tell them you can't possibly be that fucking stupid. They take that as a challenge and have to prove you wrong. Critics of the copyright directive say these provisions are disastrous, no shit. In the case of the Article 11, they note the attempts to tax platforms like Google News for sharing articles have repeatedly failed, and the system would be ripe for copyright abuse by copyright trolls. Yeah, if you're familiar with copyright trolls, I can't even imagine how much of a clusterfuck this is going to be. I mean, yeah, there are going to be funny instances where you could probably take down half the internet with bullshit copyright claims. You know, like let's say Negro Joe, the flag god, decided he wanted to take down the internet. He probably pretty much could if he just said he copyrighted everything. Article 13, they say, is even worse. The legislation requires the platforms proactively work with rights holders to stop users from uploading copyrighted content. Now, that's the interesting bit. How are they going to work with them? I mean, this has been the vague details that they don't want to go over, they don't want to talk about. How are they going to use an algorithm? Are people going to be working at this? How is that going to be enforced? You look at a company like Google, they use bots to do it. They have a YouTube police force of 1,000 people working to help do it. So who's going to enforce that? How is that going to be enforced? And what time frame is that going to be enforced in? Now, I've got an answer. Oh, there we go. I have an answer for you when it comes to the time frame. You're going to love this. This is an article from the BBC. And no, I don't have to pay a link tax because I live in Freedom Land, where I don't get fucked in the ass because I'm too much of a cuck to stand up to the oligarchs. I'm looking at you, Europe. But let's take a look. What's the time frame? How long until after you post your shitty little 56% meme are you going to have before the police come knocking at your door? Google, Facebook, Twitter face EU fines over extremist posts. This is how it's going to start. Listen to this. This is from today. This is like 3 or 4 hours ago. In his annual State of the Union address to the European Parliament, Jean-Claude Juncker said an hour would be a decisive time window. 1 hour. 1 hour after you post your little joke. 1 hour after you put up your meme. 1 hour after your tweet or your Facebook post or your YouTube video. That's how long the European Union believes that you should have before shit needs to get pulled down, before the big boy fines come out. Oh, what have you done, Europe? What are you doing? How are you this cucked? You had to have known this was a bad idea. Is it apathy or laziness? I don't know. I listen to, if you look in the chat right now, I bet there are a bunch of pissed off Europeans. Oh, America, America, 56% meme and all that other shit. Look at you, champ. What are you even doing over there? Do you have any place to talk shit about America or even Canada? Can the Europeans talk shit about Canadians anymore? I mean, Canadians were kind of the ass end of every joke on the internet for like the last 2 years, but I think you've one-upped them. I don't even think can you make a poo in the loo joke? Talk about designated shitting streets anymore? I mean, you've really reached for the bar. You've gone for the gold. You grabbed the ring and you're swinging from it. Oh, if authorities flag content that incites or advocates extremism, the content must be removed from the web, not from a website, from the fucking internet itself, within an hour. Within an hour. Just remove it completely. Just gone. It's gone. And what is extremism? Well, if you remember, there was an article from about a year and a half ago where a German paper was talking about Merkel and a police action that was happening in Germany, where they were arresting people, and a direct quote from the article was, for illegal right-wing opinions. Illegal opinions they were being arrested for. That was considered too extremist. A man was arrested in Scotland for revving his car engine in a racist manner. People have been arrested in Britain for tweets. I don't even want to talk about what's going on in Sweden. So to have that in your mind, have that picture centered, nice and crisp and clear when we're talking about what they're going to convince you is, extremism that needs to be taken down. Oh, and here we go. A spokesperson for YouTube added that the site shared the European Commission's desire to react rapidly to terrorist content and keep violent extremism off our platforms. Well, both Google and Facebook, and even Jack Dorsey at Twitter to some degree, have been being pestered, I'd say, for about the last 3 years, especially from Germany, especially from Merkel's camp, but the EU as a whole. See, not only do you Europeans want to fuck up your own good time, you have to drag your filthy, stupid asses across the ocean and shit up our good time. You got to ruin it for everybody else. I've seen some of the counterclaims to this, Article 13 and 11, saying it's going to affect everybody, not just Europe. It's going to affect everybody. Is that a claim you want to make? Do you want to go around telling people not only did you fuck yourself up, but you fucked the whole world up? You think that's going to make anybody sympathetic to your plight? It's going to make you more hated. They'll be like, I don't even know who the fuck you are, and you ruin things for me. End yourself. The scale of the problem they're looking at and what they want to be done. Yeah, it talks about Google. I'm sorry, I said it was 1,000 YouTube police officers. No, it's 10,000. 10,000 that are dedicated to this endeavor, to deal with this. I should say I can't confirm 100%, but I've seen enough people post a picture that this was the group of people celebrating the vote. There you go. They look very internet savvy, I think, don't you? Hey everybody, hey everybody, you're all fucked. High fives all around. Oh, look at the smiles. Oh, they're so happy. They're so happy. Look at your votes. Oh, Can we even call them votes, really? With the European Union, can you even really call it votes? Made to vote again. Oh, you went along with us? Accepted. Oh, you went against us? Made to vote again. Oh, accepted? Good to go. Oh, you don't like what we're doing? Ignored. Ignored. Made to vote again. Ignored. God damn. What the fuck are you guys doing? 3 months from now, if this shit goes through, a European couldn't post that. He would have to go recreate this picture, which we know is physically impossible, because his little soy arms couldn't lift up a shotgun, let alone there are no laws that would allow him to have one anyway. And holding the flag up that high probably is a violation of something else. But the point being, you'd have to recreate it. You couldn't just post that image. You'd have to recreate it shot for shot yourself. So OC shit's going to be real popular.